Let's take a look at the Asus X556U. It's a 15.6-inch budget all-rounder multimedia laptop based on an Ultrabook platform with an i5-6200U processor, 8 gigs of RAM, we've got a DVD writer, we've got an SSD inside, and we've got an NVIDIA 940, a GTX 940MX. He checks very quickly the specs on that. Yeah, the 940MX. So interesting on gaming on this. So it's a bit of an all-rounder. There's a few things, a few lowlights I need to highlight. Let's start with the actual casing of it. It is plastic. It looks quite ZenBook-like, you know, with the concentric circles, but this is all plastic and a little bit wobbly, a little bit flexible. You don't get the feel that this is a premium product. But stuffed inside here is exactly the same stuff you get on premium Ultrabook. So, for example, the Surface Book, which has an NVIDIA GPU inside, this has it for about half the price. Now let's take a quick look around the ports here, and you'll see you've got a reasonable selection from SD card, USB, and the DVD reader and writer there, all the way through to GigE, VGA, HDMI, USB, and a USB-C port as well. That's a USB 3. Not sure if it's 3.1 Gen 2, unfortunately. And there's a Kensington lock port. You can always check the full specifications on the website, notebookcheck.net, notebookcheck.com. So it's an interesting set of ports on here, fairly flexible on that VGA, kind of hinting that it wants to be a bit of an all-rounder that's going to support office work as well. Now let's get to the keyboard. Plasticky and flexible and not backlit. It isn't a high-end keyboard. It is acceptable for this sort of price, I think, and for this sort of specification, and you'll probably be able to get used to it, and you'll probably get a lot of work done on it once you get used to it. There's no major flex in the middle. It is a little bit clacky. The mouse pad, the trackpad is pretty good. It's big. Click points are okay. There's nothing majorly wrong. There's nothing that smacks of really high quality here, but it's actually not a bad sort of keyboard area. But let's take a look at that keyboard. Now, can you see we're not dealing with an IPS screen here. Brightness levels, let me just bring the details up for that. Brightness levels are on the screen for you there. Nothing really too much in terms of brightness there. 251 maximum, which isn't that great. Contrast is not that good there. We want to be seeing contrast of over 1,000. And the color and grayscale figures, although they're pretty good at under 5, it's not bad when you get under 5 with the deltas there, which means they're quite accurate. There aren't many colors here. sRGB levels, 62% coverage. That's not huge, and the blacks are not very black on this. So unfortunately, the screen is a little bit basic. The resolution, again, only 1366 by 768. So this is the sort of device, if you want to get a high quality screen experience out of it, you're going to have to use it on a desk with a decent monitor. Now this should drive 4K monitors, no problem. We haven't got DisplayPort out here, so you won't be able to daisy chain. And the HDMI is probably 4K 30 frames a second, not 4K 60 frames a second on that. Right, so that's the working fascia. We do have an SSD inside here, and you can actually get the back off and change that, but it's a 256 gig SSD. Let's give you some of the speed results for that. As you can see, 439 is the highlight sequential read figure, and you've got some really good 4K writes of 85.42 on those results that we got there. So that's a decent SSD here and a good size as well, 256 gigabytes. You can also open this to get the memory out and swap that, but there's 8 gigs of RAM in here, and I'm not sure if it's dual channel. So you will need to check that out in the full review. Don't forget to check out the details there. Now, I mentioned the DVD. The other thing I want to mention is the NVIDIA GPU inside. Now, this is bringing some interesting gaming results. Let's go to the gaming results we had, and you'll see a lot of green there, and that's good. Green up to about full HD for some older games. So If you want to knock settings down to medium levels, you can get newer games done. Star Wars Battlefront, we've checked. Call of Duty Black Ops, we've checked. So decent stuff going on there in terms of mid-range settings, but you won't be able to get any high-end settings and not a lot of 4K performance out of this as well. But that's useful, and that makes this quite an interesting sort of all-rounder because that graphics card is pretty good. Now we've only got a 35 watt hour battery inside this. Now that's because of the DVD taking up space in here, so they've only managed to squeeze in a 35 watt hour battery, which isn't that good because the 13-inch model of this managed to get a 53 watt hour battery in it, which got some excellent battery life figures. Now let me bring up the battery life figures for you here, and you will see that we got a reasonable 6.5 hours out of the battery inside. So that's pretty good considering it's only a 38 watt, I think it might be 38 watt hour battery. That's not too bad for the size of screen there, although the low resolution is probably helping those figures. Video playback 6 hours 20 minutes, that's not too bad at all. Although under load, and this is a sort of gaming scenario, 1 hour 41 minutes. You know, I'm quite surprised that it's actually 1 hour 41 minutes. I would have expected with that battery to be down towards an hour, but that's the gaming figures for you there. Let's give you the overall scores then. There's a breakdown of the scores we got on notebookcheck.com, notebookcheck.net. Now there is a full review up in German on notebookcheck.com right now. As you watch this video, it's being translated to English. By the time you've watched this video, it probably is in English. So don't forget to check out notebookcheck.net for the full English version. Lots more tests, lots more detail on the screen, PWM measurements as well, audio measurements, quality of the speaker, and more detail and more comment from our reviewer there. So that was the ASUS X556U, €799, fairly basic multimedia all-rounder, and could be interesting for dorm rooms and for, well, as an all-round sort of desktop that you want to take between a couple of places, really. I wouldn't be taking this every day with me. It's a fairly big and heavy device, and that plastic doesn't feel well. It's going to be really high quality. It's going to be scratched up within no time. But anyway, check out the full review on notebookcheck.net, notebookcheck.com. Thank you for watching this Facebook stream. I hope this worked properly with the audio this time. A full version of this will be going up on YouTube with maybe some more graphics overlays, giving you some more of the details on the specifications. But that's it for now. Thank you for watching. I'd love to hear what you think about these streams, whether they're useful, whether you want them live or whether you don't want them live, whether you want them post-edited up on YouTube or you're happy to see them post-edited here on Facebook. Or do you want everything? We can do that as well. Comments down in the Facebook post, please. Thanks for watching. My name's Chippy. We'll see you on the next live stream. Bye-bye.